No one in town could agree on the exact day the shop appeared. Some people said it was a Monday morning. Others believed it had appeared sometime during the night. But everyone agreed on one thing. The building had not been there before. Black Hollow Road was the last place anyone expected a new shop. It sat at the far edge of town, where the pavement cracked and weeds pushed through the asphalt. The streetlights leaned at crooked angles. At night, the wind moved through the trees, and sometimes it sounded almost like whispering. Many years ago, there had been a gas station there, but it burned down nearly 20 years earlier. After that, the land remained empty. No construction crews, no businesses, no houses. Just an abandoned stretch of road that most people avoided after dark. Until the shop appeared. It was a narrow building with peeling paint and dusty windows. The glass was so dirty it was difficult to see inside, but shapes could still be seen behind the grime. Shelves, boxes, strange little objects. Above the door hung a wooden sign, Mr. Calder's Curiosities, and beneath it, carved into the wood in smaller letters, you'll find exactly what you need. Most people drove past it without noticing, but a few people did notice, and the ones who noticed almost always stopped. The first person to walk into the shop was a boy named Tommy Greaves. Tommy was 12 years old. Like most kids his age, he spent most afternoons riding his bike around town. One afternoon, his bike tire went flat near Black Hollow Road. While pushing the bike along the shoulder, he saw the shop. Tommy was certain the building hadn't been there the day before, but curiosity can be a powerful thing. So he walked up to the door and pushed it open. A small brass bell rang above his head. The air inside smelled strange. Old wood, dust, rust, and something sweet, something slightly rotten. Shelves covered every wall. Glass cases held dozens of odd little objects. Pocket watches, music boxes, old photographs, rusty tools, wooden boxes. Some things Tommy couldn't even recognize. At first, everything looked ordinary, but the longer he looked, the more every object seemed important, like each item had once belonged to someone. Then a voice spoke from behind the counter. "Welcome." Tommy turned. A tall man stood behind the counter. Tommy hadn't noticed him before. The man was thin, dressed in a dark suit that looked decades out of style. His hair was slicked neatly back. His hands rested calmly on the glass counter, and he was smiling. "You must be Tommy," the man said softly. Tommy blinked. "How do you know my name?" The man chuckled quietly. "Oh, I know many things." He straightened his tie. "My name is Mr. Calder." Then he leaned forward slightly. "And you, Tommy, are looking for something special." Tommy shrugged. "I'm just looking." But Mr. Calder was already bending down behind the counter. When he stood up again, he placed something carefully onto the glass. Tommy's heart nearly stopped. It was the baseball card. The exact card he had been searching for months. A rare 1987 Jackson rookie card. Mint condition, perfect corners, not a single crease. Tommy stared at it in disbelief. "How much?" he asked. Mr. Calder smiled gently. "Oh, not much." He leaned a little closer. "Just a small favor." Later that evening, Tommy stood outside Billy Turner's house. Billy was Tommy's rival on the baseball team, the best pitcher in school. Tommy held a slingshot in his hand. Mr. Calder had given it to him. "Just break the window," the shopkeeper had said. "That's all." Tommy hesitated. His heart pounded in his chest. Then he pulled the slingshot back and fired. The stone smashed through Billy's bedroom window. Glass shattered across the floor. Tommy ran home clutching the baseball card. But that night, he had a strange dream. In the dream, he stood inside the shop again. Mr. Calder watched him from behind the counter, still smiling. But behind him, something moved in the darkness. Something tall, something watching. Whenever Tommy tried to look directly at it, it slipped deeper into the shadows. Within a week, half the town had visited Mr. Calder's shop. Sheriff Dalton found the watch his father had lost decades earlier. Mrs. Hargrove discovered the necklace stolen from her home. Old Walter Pike found a photograph of his wife, taken the day before she died. Each item was priceless, something the owner believed was gone forever, and every item cost the same thing: a small favor. Deliver a letter, move a sign, break a window, spread a rumor. Small things, simple things. But the town began to change. Neighbors started arguing. Rumors spread quickly. Someone smashed the windows of a truck. Someone burned down a shed. People whisper. Nobody trusted anyone anymore. And every day, the shelves inside Mr. Calder's shop grew emptier. One night, Sheriff Dalton entered the shop. His hand rested on the revolver at his belt. "You've caused enough trouble," he said. Mr. Calder calmly polished a glass jar. "Trouble?" he asked. "I've only given people what they wanted." "You're turning this town against itself." Mr. Calder smiled. "No, Sheriff. They're doing that themselves." The sheriff slammed his hand on the counter. "I'm shutting this place down." Mr. Calder reached under the counter and placed something on the glass. Sheriff Dalton froze. It was his father's revolver, the same one that had disappeared the night his father died. The sheriff stared at it. "How did you get that?" Mr. Calder leaned forward slightly. "A small favor." By the second week, the town felt different, colder, quieter. People avoided eye contact. Tommy couldn't even look at the baseball card anymore. Every time he saw it, he remembered Billy crying while his parents cleaned up the broken glass. Finally, Tommy returned to the shop. He placed the baseball card on the counter. "I don't want it anymore." Mr. Calder tilted his head. "But you paid for it." "I want to give it back." Mr. Calder chuckled softly. "That's not how deals work." Tommy swallowed. "What happens now?" Mr. Calder leaned closer. His eyes looked darker than before. "Why, Tommy, you make another payment." Behind him, the darkness shifted. For the first time, Tommy saw it clearly. A tall shape, stretching toward the ceiling. Long fingers sliding slowly across the shelves. "What is that?" Tommy whispered. Mr. Calder's voice dropped to a whisper. "A collector." Tommy's voice trembled. "What do you collect?" Mr. Calder's smile widened slowly. "People." That night, the town erupted into chaos. Fights broke out across the streets. Cars were overturned. Fires burned in several neighborhoods. Sirens screamed through the darkness. Neighbors blamed neighbors. Friends became enemies. And just before dawn, Tommy returned to Black Hollow Road. The shop was silent. The shelves were empty. Mr. Calder stood beside the tall shadow behind him. "You see?" he said softly. "Such a small town, and so much darkness inside." Tommy clenched his fists. "You did this." Mr. Calder smiled calmly. "No. I simply gave them opportunities." Then he flipped the sign on the door. Closed. By morning. The shop was gone. The building had vanished completely. Only an empty lot remained, as if nothing had ever stood there. Months passed. The town slowly rebuilt. But no one could explain what had happened. Some blamed stress. Others blamed rumors. But Tommy knew the truth, because one night, while riding his bike along a distant highway, he saw something familiar. A small shop beside the road. Dusty windows. A wooden door. And above it hung a wooden sign. "Mr. Calder's Curiosities. You'll find exactly what you need." Through the window, Tommy saw a tall man in a dark suit, standing behind the counter, smiling, waiting for the next customer.